Hello, my amazing cybernauts, my wonderful subscribers. You are welcome to today's episode on Sustainary Energy channel. Are you a brand new subscriber? You are welcome to my lovely channel. My name is Egbe Eyongakumbe. I specialize in energy, natural resources, and sustainable development law. Today, I want to talk about hydrocarbons. I want to talk about the role of the giant of Africa in the hydrocarbons world. Now, who is this giant of Africa? We all know the answer. I want to talk about Nigeria. I want to talk about how Nigeria benefited immensely from the soaring world energy demand. Now, there was a soaring world energy demand between 1960 and 1975. It seems to be just 15 years, but Nigeria benefited immensely. Nigeria benefited tremendously from this soaring world energy demand. This means in the period of 15 years, Nigeria was able to distinguish itself and even become Africa's largest producer of crude oil. Now, what's making me get into this whole Nigeria thing? Nigeria didn't stop at being Africa's largest producer of crude oil. Nigeria today is one of the world's largest exporters of crude oil. Now, we want to know what is responsible for this. We would like to know what happened. How did Nigeria handle it before they became Africa's best or largest producer of crude oil? To start with, between the years of 1960 1975, Nigeria discovered that they had a great deal of indigenous hydrocarbons in their territory. It means that while the world was soaring with this world energy demand and like going up with the demand for energy, Nigerians discovered that this energy the whole world was rushing up and down for was buried under their land. Nigeria was not the only African nation that discovered this. However, Nigeria distinguished itself as far as producing this particular wanted or requested or desired hydrocarbon is concerned. Now, as at 2021, almost, that's trying to be modest, every oil company was based in Nigeria. The world's major oil producers or international oil companies were found in Nigeria. But for Standard Oil of California, every other international oil company had its base or had its office in Nigeria as well. There is a reason for this. It's not just because everyone loves Nigeria. It's not just because the whole of Africa knows that when Nigeria sneezes, the other parts catch cold. We are all amazing in our different parts of motherland. But Nigeria became so peculiar because there was something exquisite about the quality of the hydrocarbon. Yes, the major producing countries had a problem. Their hydrocarbon contained a lot of sulfur. Though there was a technique that was available to extract sulfur from their crude oil, but Nigeria had this crude oil that just had a little sulfur concentration. Now, among these major nations that were producing hydrocarbons, we also have two other nations that were producing hydrocarbons which had very little sulfur content, and these nations are Russia and America. Russia and America, just those two. That's those two major producing nations. Now, we have some other nations which I chose to give you the acronym NILA. These nations were specific because just like Nigeria, they had their crude oil with very little sulfur content, making them the demand for their crude oil also high. So we had Nigeria, we had Indonesia, we have Libya, and Algeria. Okay, so those are the 4 nations aside US and Russia. Now bringing US, Russia, Nigeria, Indonesia, Libya, and Algeria together, that makes 6 big nations that were very, very powerful or major producers of oil or hydrocarbons. So this is one of the reasons why this scramble for hydrocarbons brought every major international oil company to Nigeria. That was the first reason. Now, it also had a second reason. Nigerian crude oil is very light. It's light and sweet. It is said to be sweet because whenever it is actually distilled, there is a very generous amount of the so solicited products that comes out of that crude oil. The so solicited or extremely wanted or desired products are jet fuel or jet fuel, the way some of you call it. Now fuel, F-U-E-L, jet fuel. We have gasoline and we have diesel. So this particular adorable crude oil had a very good quantity of all these very wanted products being made available to the market. So this is what made Nigeria unique. This is what made Nigeria stand out. This is what made Nigeria explode. This is what made Nigeria benefit immensely from this soaring world energy demand. Now, the best or the sweetest of Nigeria's crude oil remains the Bonny Light, Bonny Light. That's Nigeria's best crude oil. As to why it is Nigeria's best crude oil, we are going to talk about it in our next episode. So this episode was somehow bringing your minds to the fact that in this new era, in our 60th episode, we are going all Nigeria as per hydrocarbons. Now, after 60 successful episodes, we have somehow decided to streamline our focus. In the beginning, we made you know what natural resources was, renewables, non-renewables. From the 60th episode, we are going to focus on hydrocarbons for a very long time. And who is talking hydrocarbons starts from the largest producer of it in the continent where I find myself, in Africa. And that's why Nigeria is going to be our topic for a very, very long time. Unless recommendations to talk about something else, you are welcome to Nigeria's world of hydrocarbons. Have a wonderful time with us. Bye.